With the drastic changes to weapons and the new update Age of War that Funcom decided to do, I kind of wanted to make a video talking about legendaries. Now, this isn't going to be your typical, like, oh my god, use this legendary. Oh my god, you need this legendary. This is kind of me just showcasing some legendaries, and I'll explain why on some of them, but some of them I feel will be self-explanatory. They're not all the top tiers in their respective class, but I feel like there's a lot of viability with some of these weapons, and even the first few that I will showcase are ones that you can still buy in game, and I feel like those are nice. The first weapon I want to talk about is Baltor's Razor. It's still a weapon that you can buy, and I like it because it's an agility weapon, and I will be using builds in this video with armor to try to maximize the damage. I just like the fact that it's an agility weapon. I love the fact that I can buy it, so if I die with it, I don't really care. Also don't care if it breaks because I have chest full of them. It's just something that I kind of like to use sometimes. I do enjoy the crippling effect out of it, while by no means do I think two-handed swords are the way to go. It can still be fun with it, and if you get experienced with a two-handed sword, it's actually quite enjoyable to use. The next one on the list is a Momentum, another one that you can buy, which is one of the highest damage maces out there right now. It's insane that you can buy this thing, and it's extremely silly and fun to use, so, I figured I'd throw it in. The next is the Glimmer Moon. I do have it transmogged right here. I like the Glimmer Moon. I don't mind the damage and stuff that it's not the best. It's not like our good old Lemurian axe, but for a throwaway, thought I'd throw it in as well. The next one, of course, is L's Drinker we're going to be talking about. The reason I want to talk about this is I think it's a great one-handed sword. One-handed swords aren't... they're kind of a meta. A lot of people use them. They have a great combo. Auto lock works with them well. And L's Drinker is another free one you can buy. So it's one of those that, who cares if you lose it or if it breaks. But now we're getting into the ones that are some of my favorites. Of course, does it even need an introduction? We all know this katana. We all love this katana. The Musashi's Black Blade. It's just, I love the katanas where they are now. They don't seem too strong, and they don't seem too weak. My next favorite agility is, of course, the Black Dragon Pike. I love the fact that this is an agility pike. If you're in a weight build, and you're bombing or you're just farming, you can actually have that reach with a great pike. I'm very happy about this one. I don't have much to say about it. I'm sure you're out there already trying to farm these, because why not? Next weapon, of course, Sword of Crom, kind of making its return. While it's definitely not probably going to be viable in PvP, it's still fun. It's not what it was when you used to give it to all our thralls out there, but I figured I would include it because it does have some potential. The next one is the Axe of the Lion. I did buy these. I don't think you can still buy these. I was checking it to see if they were in the rotation by Mechmosis, but I didn't see it pop up. But these are, they're a predatory blade. So light attacks are going to do the most damage, but I figured I'd throw it in because it's a great water weapon. Now, this pike, the reason I threw it in is I feel like it could have potential. It says diseased on it as its special ability. And I was confused on what it was actually doing. It kind of seems like it messes with people's glutton here. But the reason I wanted to point it out is maybe in the future, the certain weapons that have these special effects will actually get reworked or buffed properly, because I feel like this should be doing more than it really is. So we have Hanuman's Gata, which has nice damage output and great penetration, but if you look at the weight of it, I don't know about its practicality in most PvP builds unless you have extra weight. But one that I do recommend is World Breaker. It has, just look at the stats. It speaks for itself, and its weight is great. Just, your typical weapon weight, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying here. But it is one that I do like. I think a lot of people have always liked this, and I miss hammers being the meta. You know, I miss the days when people were coming at you with hammers. Now everyone just runs around with great axes, and I mean everyone's got a great axe these days. And it's interesting to watch how things change, isn't it? Anyways, my next favorite pike, the Mordlin, of course. I'm sure if you're not aware of this, it's one of the best pikes in the game right now. And at the end of the video, I do show a nice place to get it. The Scythe of Bag, which is basically, you know, the two-handed axe of the legendary world. It's not a common legendary, though, because you're going to have to get it from farming the boss in the wine cellar. So I don't know how practical it's going to be. I don't think you'll see a lot of people running around with it. But if you are capable to get it, and you do like your two-handed axes like so many people do, it does great damage. So, you know, I figured I had to include it because, you know, two-handed axes, and that's basically what this is. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the Drunkard's Blade. Now, it's more so the effect that I wanted to talk about. It's going to apply, you know, alcohol poisoning to people. And from the clip you're seeing right now, I could not regen my stamina because of this, and I did not have any set pots on me. Now, you always should have some set pots on you. I am very bad about leaving base without set pots. And the reason I wanted to throw this weapon in there is I feel like it's also nice to help people burn through their set pots. I did, of course, record a clip showing you that set pots do work, but it does not get rid of the effect. It just gets rid of your stamina being completely drained from the alcohol poisoning. So kind of weird that set pots like halfway work. They work in the best part. It would be dumb if they got rid of the visual effect, but your stamina didn't come back. So I'm much happier that by using set pots, you can get your stamina back. So just remember, always have some on you. Bows, I don't know anything about bows. This was just recommended to me to showcase. The arrows for it, they come from a spider up in the volcano, but that spider does not always, it doesn't have 100% chance of a spawn rate. So, you know, you're going to have to farm them a bit, but went with the bow of the Reach of the Red Mother, and I figured I would include a clip of showing the other bows. And while this is legendary talk, I mean, honestly, just make the Kari bow 36/21. It's a well-rounded bow, and it's something that you can craft on your own without having to find it. But you know, the one thing that irritates me the most is I think I get bows out of boxes more than anything else I want. I figured I would showcase one of my favorite places to get some legendaries. If you're not farming this place or don't have it in your current rotation for legendary farming, you should add it. And of course, it's Kale Chip Stronghold. And if you're not using it, you got to go to his factory. The first idiot you're going to run into is this blue guy. You can bypass him if you want to, but he does have a chance to drop a legendary. While not very often, he eventually will. But, you know, if you're in here already and with the not damage, but the health being nerfed on everything, might as well kill this idiot and see if he drops one. There he goes. Now, obviously, to save time, that green door, that boss is going to spawn a legendary. That one's going to spawn a legendary. That one's going to drop a buff. I'm only going to show the green, the blue, purple, whatever. It looks like blue to me on my screen. Maybe with your color contrast, it looks more purple. It looks blue for me. We're going to go in there and I'll show you what he drops. The first one that we're going to be talking about is this guy. I like him because he has the potential to drop a Mordlin. If you're in a strength build and you like using pikes and you're not taking advantage of a Mordlin, you're a fool. Definitely take advantage of the Mordlin. As you can see, he has a chance to drop it. So it's not bad to come in here and farm it, since, you know, these guys respawn quicker than the chests do on the map. So, you know, it's not bad. See, there we go. Got another Mordlin. As you can see, this one also has the potential to drop a legendary every time. No, not bad. Now, I definitely would farm the one that drops the arena key. You don't need to farm him for the key, obviously, but he does have a chance to drop a world breaker, and I like that. It's one of my favorite hammers, so I would take the time to kill him. And if you don't have scraps, you know, you can collect the keys in here to get all the rooms at the end of the dungeon. Now, where the dragon spawns in here, you can kill him to get the key off of him, or you can just bring a key with you, bypass him, run over here, grab yourself the weapon, and then carry on to the end. Now, you don't, if you're not here for scraps, you can just probably skip him. He does drop a legendary, air quotes, but it's one that's going to corrupt you, which is nice for magic, so you can have a weapon that can easily corrupt you if you just want to go that route. But you know, other than that, the legendaries he drops are just his 2 legendaries. And as you can see, they're not 100% like the first 2 bosses and then the box. What is that? He drops treasure. He dropped a little magical harp. Holy moly. Huh. I guess you had that up your